everybody, June here. Happy New Year. I'm not sure whether this is going to be the first or the second video of the year. If it's the first, then there you have it, and if it's the second, well, Happy New Year again. In this video, I want to go over some of my thoughts about sewing for 2019. They're not plans. I am not a planner at all. As a matter of fact, that is one of the reasons why I've never really participated in any of the challenges that require you to plan ahead your entire year, because I am very much as the spirit moves you kind of sewist, and I want to sew things now, and I don't know what I want to make 5-6 months down the road. So yes, let's get into it. Rather than plans, this video is about some of the things that I would like to accomplish this year, moving forwards, mostly changing some of my old ways that I've grown accustomed to, and that have led me to have an enormous stash of fabric and patterns. One of the things that I would like to try to do this year that I haven't really done in the past is to, rather than choose a pattern and then find fabric that I may or may not have, is to start with the fabric. So I want to start with fabric that I already own, and I have a pretty big stash, and then find a pattern for my collection that I can make with that fabric. And that hasn't started out so well. I have bought quite a bit of fabric already, and it's only the 9th of the month, but in my defense, it was on sale and it was very cheap, so I couldn't not buy it. So that's one of my goals for this year. The other goal for this year that I have is to use more of my Burda patterns, by which I mean the ones in the magazine. I've been subscribing to Burda for almost 10 years, and I believe I only took 1 year's break between 2012 and 2013. Now if you do the math, that is 12 issues a year for give or take 9 years. That's a lot of magazines. And then I've also bought back issues, some that are very old at this point. And I have a ton of other magazines that I bought in Europe, which I've made some videos about that I'm going to link somewhere either up here or down below. So yes, I have a ton of patterns, and I would like to work on them. Not so much the envelopes, but the actual magazines, because it is an investment. Burda is pretty expensive. It's over $100 a year to subscribe, and I rarely make anything from those magazines, even though I love all the styles. So yes, make more stuff from Burda. One other thing that I wanted to talk about this video is the Make 9 challenge. And as I said in the beginning of the video, I am really not a planner, and so I haven't participated in this challenge so far. But for this year, I thought that I would give it a shot with one caveat. Rather than a challenge, as in I'm going to challenge myself to make these 9 things, I am treating the Make 9 as a bit of a, an inspiration, a bit of a kick in the pants, if you will. Like I said, I am a sewist that enjoys the actual finished product. I don't dislike the process of sewing, but it is not what drives me to sew. What drives me to sew is to have actually something finished that I can put on. And that leads me to choose projects that are quick, projects that I can make now and finish now, and then it leads me to leave the more involved things for later and later and later, and later never comes. So with the Make 9, which most of the things that I have put on this list are pretty involved projects, the idea is that it will help me have something already planned, already in mind, that I can start, and that will motivate me, I hope, to work on these things that I've wanted to sew for quite some time, some of them for years. So more of an inspiration than a goal to make everything, but of course, I would like to make these things. Another way that I wish this Make 9 will help me is in having a little bit of structure, because even though, like I said, I am a make now kind of person, once I finish a project, it is really difficult for me to start another one because I am so overwhelmed by choice. I recently did a pattern purge, and after the pattern purge, I ended up with, I believe, like 615 envelopes. That is a lot of patterns. That doesn't even account for all of the pattern magazines. It is madness. I'm trying not to show this cabinet here, but like right here to my left, it is full of patterns, full of magazines. Behind me on the floor, which I won't show you, are the 100 patterns I'm getting rid of. So I'm hoping that by having this list of 9 items that I would like to make, I will find it easier to set a project if I'm stuck after I finish another one. So without further ado, and in no particular order, these are my Make 9 plans for 2019. The first one, and it's the only one of its kind in my Make 9, is a knitted project. It is the Weekend Sweater from We Are Knitters, and I believe it is a design by Kristen Ritter, Jessica Jones, from the Marvel. Is it Marvel? I don't know. Is it Marvel? I'm not a comics kind of person, but I have watched Jessica Jones. But anyhow, it is this Weekend Sweater that I have actually already started. So hopefully I'll finish it by the end of the year. I am a pretty slow knitter, but this is a pretty quick knit. It's made on big needles and it's made with big yarn, so that shouldn't take very long at all. Oh, and I forgot to mention that I have made a blog post with the Make 9 where I give a little bit more of information about each pattern, so on here I'm just gonna go through them quickly. The second item on my Make 9 is the coat by the Avid Seamstress. I bought this pattern in Liberty of London, if I remember correctly, when I was in Europe a couple of months ago, and I saw it and I knew that I had to have it, so I did, and I even have fabric for it, which I did buy, but you know, that's between you and me. So yes, the Avid Seamstress, the coat. Number 3 on the list is the Teleca Sweater by Named Clothing. This has been on my pattern stash for a long time and I haven't gotten around to it, so maybe this is the year. Number 4 is the Ginger Jeans by Classic Case Patterns. I mentioned on the blog post that this is more a necessity than a want, so this is something that I really do hope that I get to pretty early on in the year. You can read more about that in the post. Next is an item from a pattern magazine, but alas, not Burda. This one is from Patrones Extra, issue number 64, and it is a cape. I have wanted a cape pretty much for as long as I've been subscribing to Burda. Every now and then they have some amazing capes, but alas, I haven't made one. I did start making a Simplicity, I think it is, vintage one. I made 2 muslins. That didn't work out. But maybe this model will. Maybe this is the year of the cape for me. I guess we'll see. The next one is Mccall's 6696. This is a shirt dress, and I intend to make the one with the gather skirt. I don't know what else to tell you about this dress. I love shirt dresses, and this seems like something that would suit me, so it's been on my to sew list for a long time. Maybe I'll get around to it. Moving on is the Alina Design & Co. Hampton jean jacket, and I bought this pattern officially, I want to say over Thanksgiving. I can't remember, it was on sale at Indie, so, but anyhow, I've been thinking about making this jacket for a really long time. I like the look of denim jackets. I've never owned one because I could never find one that fits. So hopefully this one will fit. And I'm thinking about having something embroidered on the back. I do have an embroidery machine, so plans for that to be embroidered. We'll see what happens. Next is the Helens Closet Pinafore dress. This one is pretty straightforward. I imagine that I could knock this out, you know, in like half a day, so it shouldn't be that involved. But I put it on here as like the easy thing to make, so that I could at least check one thing off the list by the end of the year and feel accomplished. And last but not least is the Deer & Doe Myosotis dress. I don't know how they say that. I know how I would say it in Spanish, but I don't know how they say it in French. I love this dress, and honestly, I don't know whether it's gonna work with my body type, but there's only one way to find out. So those are my plans and thoughts for the year. I wanted to participate in the Sew My Style because it seems like it would be a good way to find new patterns, and maybe make things that I wouldn't make otherwise. But I am very hesitant for two reasons. First, it goes against the other plan of thinking about fabrics and then that I have, and then using patterns that I have. If it's a pattern that I have to buy, then it goes against that. But that's not 100% what's holding me back. What is holding me back from really committing to this Sew My Style is that this year it seems so disorganized. It is January and I have no idea what the patterns are for the rest of the year. They haven't been made public. There's actually no pattern for January. It's just a theme is activewear. And it's just, I don't know, I'm finding it really difficult to commit to the challenge when it seems so poorly planned on their part. And I'm already a bad planner, so like we can't have two people plan things poorly. And I hope that I don't offend Madeline, I think it's her name, who's running it this year. But it's really, I mean, going by previous years, this year is a little less well organized. Then there's always the challenges over at Pattern Review. The first one in January is also activewear, although I'm not sure that I'm going to be participating. And there's always so many other challenges that pop up, which is why I don't want to make any hard and fast, you know, plans for the year, because I want to sew and make things, A, as I'm inspired, and B, you know, like as the trends come up and people come up with cool challenges. And right now there is the Sew Fancy Pants challenge that I might not actually participate in at all, but just things like that sort of inspire me. And I can't commit to what I'm going to sew for the rest of the year at the beginning of the year, because that is just not how my sewing works. And for me, sewing is, you know, a relief from the pressures of school, and you know, it sort of clears my mind. And like hard and fast rules, I already do that for a living. I don't want to do that for my hobby. But if that works for you, then that is fine. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope that you come back to see if I'm actually doing my make nines, which is, I mean, I don't want to say that I'm gonna get to all of them, but like I'm going to actually try to make these things, but I'm not going to you know, berate myself if I don't. So with that said, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.